Welcome learners of the massive open online course on school management and leadership. We are going to have a discussion on the first unit of this course. This unit is all about an introduction to educational management. I am Nripendra Narayan Sarma. I am Professor in Management of Krishnakanta Handike State Open University. So in this unit, we'll basically have a discussion about management and then its application in the area of educational management. We have set out a number of learning objectives for the coverage of this unit. Basically, we are here to understand the meaning of management. Then we shall also have a description of the basic functions of management. We shall also have a quick discussion on the basic theories of management. After having this discussion, we shall learn some principles of educational management. Then we shall also discuss the implications of management theories in educational institutions. Dear learners, from the set of objectives that I have spelled out just now, what we are going to do? We are basically going to understand the theoretical concepts of management as such. Then we shall try to have an understanding of the theories of management and its application in the area of educational management. Dear learners, you are all in the management function of your respective schools, of your respective educational institutions. So you are also in the job of managing. Many persons are in the job of managing. NGOs, corporates, big corporations, everyone has to do management. Those who are in the managerial jobs. From that perspective, the management principles, the management functions are more or less same. But we are mostly concerned about the application of these concepts and theories in our respective institutions. First, let us discuss what management is all about. This is a word which we use in our day-to-day languages. Sometimes we use management, sometimes we use leadership, sometimes we use administration, sometimes we use command, sometimes we use direction. But basically we are discussing management as an interchangeable term for all these options. So what does management mean? Management means something by which we get things done. But this management makes a remarkable difference in the functioning of educational institutions. Not only educational institutions, in every type of organization, management plays a very decisive role. So before delving into the details of the concept of educational management, I think it would be prudent to know about the basic concept of management. Basic concept of management as such. So that's why we shall discuss the basic functions and underlying theories of management in this unit. After having a discussion on this, we shall discuss, as I have told you already, we shall discuss its principles and its applications in educational organizations. So what does management mean? It is basically a field of endeavor. We keep on trying through practice, through processes. It is a combination of art and science. The way we get things done, many times we have to, because we have to deal with human beings. So it requires application of art. At the same time, many times we need to make a lot of calculations. When to do, how to do, where to do. So it has got scientific elements also. Basically, it's a combination of art and science. At the same time, we can put it from the definitional perspective. It is the art of getting things done through others. Art of getting things done through others. You are the headmaster, you are the principal. So you will manage your institution. So it's basically the art of getting things done through others. But if we go by this simple definition, here getting things done through others as if you are giving commands, but you are doing the things along with others. So that's why we can modify this definition that getting things done through and with others means you are also doing the things, simply not commanding. At the same time, we can build on this simple definition. We can also say that management is basically a process, a series of activities undertaken by one or more persons. It could be a team of management also. In your schools, you are the principal, you are having the vice principal, you are having the class captains, school teachers, class teachers. So you will be dividing the responsibilities. So by one or more persons to coordinate the activities and of other persons to achieve results not attainable by one person acting alone. So it requires a team effort. One person cannot make all the differences. That's why it requires application of processes. The process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims makes all the differences in functioning of organizations, including schools. In every organization, the process of designing an environment in which all the individuals who will be working together will be directed towards accomplishment of the common objective of that institution. That is basically management. So what are the basic functions of management? What does a manager do? Management requires planning. Planning. It is something which bridges the gap between where we are today and where we want to go tomorrow. So it is basically the bridge. It requires detailed probing of questions. Who will do what to do, why to do. That is another important aspect. The rationale of doing it. Who will do, when they will do, where that will be done, and how that will be done. These all requires planning. And in English there is a saying that plans are nothing, planning is everything. Means we need to plan, we need to go for detailed aspects of what to achieve, how to achieve, when to achieve, what to do, when to do, who will do, how that will be done. All these things are planning. So we force ourselves to make detailed plans for the future, for the accomplishment of the objectives. That is basically management. It centers around planning. And to that extent, dear learners, you will have to be familiar with certain acronyms. One of those acronyms is MOST, M-O-S-T. Then I shall also tell you about another acronym called SWOT, Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities and Challenges. You are supposed to identify the strengths of your institution, of your school, opportunities, then challenges, and after identification, you can discuss with your other colleagues and then you can refine the list. So likewise, one acronym is MOST, which stands for mission, objectives, strategies and tactics. These are all plans. These are different types of plans. Mission is for what you are in an educational organization. So you are here to serve a larger purpose of educating the society. That is a mission. In order to educate the society, we need to have certain objectives. That in these classes we shall teach this like this. How shall we teach? That is the strategy. And at the classroom level, to what extent we shall use the blackboard, to what extent we shall use the environment, right? These are the different field level tactics. So it requires identification of opportunities, weaknesses and challenges. Then only we can afford to achieve our plans, we can afford to achieve our objectives. So in order to do all these activities, irrespective of organization, all the managers are supposed to carry out certain functions. What are the basic functions? Irrespective of organization, and that is the beauty of management as a body of knowledge, that every manager at any level, whether bottom level, middle level, top level, and in your schools at your school level, every manager has to do certain activities. That set of activities can be grouped under 5 heads. One is planning. I have already explained to you what planning is all about. Then organizing, in order to achieve the plans, what are the various activities to be done, how to group those activities, what will be the chain of command, who will do that, means what position will do that. Staffing is basically about management of the human resources, how to recruit them, how to promote them, how to place them in your schools. You are having a number of teachers who will teach what at what point of time, and then leading all these activities towards the common objective. And then we are supposed to control. Control means we need to see whether we are moving in the right direction or not. If we are not moving in the right direction, we will have to insert remedial measures. So these are some of the functions which, as a school manager, as a school headmaster, or the principal of an educational institution, you are supposed to do. You are supposed to do in order to carry out your managerial responsibilities. You are supposed to plan, you are supposed to organize, you are supposed to go for staffing function, you are supposed to lead all the activities, and you are supposed to control. So planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Dear learners, please retain this. Please remember these are the basic managerial functions. Now, in light of these basic managerial functions, let us quickly discuss about some of the theories of management. As a body of knowledge and as a field of application, management is still evolving. Rather, in today's context, it has become much more complex with the application of ICT, globalization, etc. But so management is still evolving and developing continuously. Every day, new development is taking place. So a number of practitioners, thinkers, and academicians have contributed towards the formation and development of management principles, thoughts, and approaches. Although management could be as old as maybe human civilization during Kautilya's Astra-Shastra, Ramayana, Mahabharata, we find the applications of management. But as a body of knowledge, the way we study it, right, from the Western point of view, right, it started with Frederick Taylor. So the first among the management theories is scientific management. It was pioneered by Frederick Winslow Taylor, F.W. Taylor. That took place in the early part of 20th century. And he is popularly known as the father of scientific management. He is basically a classicist in management theory. So why he is called the father of scientific management? Because he studied it from the engineering perspectives. He advocated an orderly set of principles to replace the trial and error methods which was prevalent during those days in the first part of 20th century, in the first 2 decades of 20th century. So that was there in vogue at that point of time. So he insisted on time and motion study in work processes, standardization, achieving harmony in group action. Then he also talks about the maximum output, and because of all these beliefs, he mostly studies management at the bottom of the shop floor level, means at the factory level he studied about the application of management, time, motion study, etc. Then another complementary thought came from Henry Fayol. He is known as the father of administrative management. What did he do? He complemented some of the things. He studied it from the top management point of view, and according to Fayol, business could be divided into 6 groups of activities, and these are applicable to your schools also. In your schools also you are related with technical matters, commercial matters, financial matters, security related matters, accounting related matters, and the management, the overall managerial. So Fayol's contribution to management thought is applicable in your schools also. So Fayol emphasized that better management is not merely a question of improving the output. Taylor considered about maximization of output, but Fayol propounded that planning of subordinate units of an organization should take the lead role. Then based on this framework of classical approach, theories on human relations emerged in the 1920s and 1930s. So it's with the human resources, right, that is of paramount importance, that came into recognition. Study of the human factors in improving productivity was the main thrust of this. Then the Second World War came, and with the post-Second World War regime, management as a body of knowledge and field of application was highly influenced by competitive strategies, logistics, fighting with enemies, supply chain management, transportation of arms and ammunition from the base station to the points of war, right? Operations research, application of statistical tools, and all these things emerged after Second World War. Then Peter F. Drucker, he advocated the concept of management of objectives in 1950s, and this approach emphasized participative management. Means you are not doing it alone, you are doing with the help of all others, and you are not setting the objective yourself, you are setting the objectives with a joint formulation with the help of others, with the discussion with others. So these are the different thoughts which emerge across time. So with the advent of information and communication technology, robotics, artificial intelligence, management thoughts and processes have undergone revolutionary changes. Now let us try to see all these aspects in the context of educational management, to which we all are directly associated with. So educational management is basically fundamental to education. It's fundamental in education. Without educational management, we cannot think of having all the educational programs. So it is concerned with implementation of educational plans in an efficient and effective manner. Dear learners, mind these two words. One is efficient manner, the other one is effective manner. Means efficient in terms of utilization of resources, effective in terms of achievement of our objectives. We need to achieve our objectives, at the same time we need to utilize our resources in a judicious manner. So as the leaders of your schools, we should be concerned with achievement of mission, goals and objectives of our schools. That is effectiveness. At the same time, we should be highly concerned with utilization of our resources. We do not have many teachers, we have a few teachers only. With those few teachers, how best can we impart education? How best can we impart our teaching for the benefit of our students? So our resources are limited. With limited resources, we need to get the maximum possible results. So resource utilization demands efficiency. As the leaders and managers of our school system, we need to be effective and efficient. So dear learners, please take note of these 2 points. And then educational institutions are basically non-profit making enterprises. Unlike our private sector counterparts, one of their objective is to earn profit and to distribute profit among the shareholders, among the investors. But as an educational institutions, we are mostly concerned about the mission of spreading education, propagating education among the society. So it's basically a welfare or service-oriented approach. And this service-oriented approach we shall discuss further in your Unit 2. The next video we shall discuss more about this service orientation. So another aspect is basically concerned with the nature of learning. So the main concern of educational management in society, people and their welfare is basically linked to a processes, to life process. It's basically a mental processing activities. So management principles are applicable universally, as I have told you already, applicable to the entire sets of organization. It is applicable to United Nations organization, it is applicable to a non-governmental organization, it is applicable to a corporate, it is applicable to an educational institution as well. So the nature of management principles includes the dynamism in processes. However, as managers of our schools, we may be guided by the following working principles. One is proper formulation. We need to be clear about what we are going to achieve, our objectives. That should be based on research. We cannot do it on whims. At the same time, it will be a continuous process that we have done it today and we forget about it. We cannot do it. Management is a continuous process. At the same time, always we shall have to ensure continuing participation of our interest groups, our fellow teachers, parents, our students, our stakeholders. At the same time, our efforts should be need-based and situation-oriented. COVID taught us some important lessons, that how should we respond to situations. So management is basically highly situation-centric. Then leadership. You are there to ensure this function. Then continuous evaluation of all the processes. This is not only you, not only your institution, this is applicable to each and every institution. So as a body of knowledge, management as such has enunciated this set of principles like proper formulation of objectives, research-based objectives, ensuring the continuity, ensuring the involvement of all the stakeholders, providing the leadership, and then responding to the situations and making the desired control. These are the basic functions. So implications of management theories, we have just discussed the different theories like Frederick Winslow Taylor, Henry Fayol, Elton Mayo, Peter Drucker. These are different theories we have discussed. What could be the implications of management theories in educational organizations like yours? Dear learners, we have come to know, we all know that the NEP 2020 is in place. It advocates what? It basically advocates a change in our school culture. All participants in the school education system, including the head teachers, principals, administrators, counselors, students, need to be sensitized to the requirements of the students, the notions of inclusion, equity, and the respect, dignity, and privacy of all persons. So NEP 2020 has set a mandate. Now, in light of the theories of management, like application of scientific management as propounded by Taylor, the grouping of activities, the principles enunciated by Fayol, Henry Fayol, these are all relevant, still relevant. Education requires mental processing and human touch. So it requires application of scientific theories. At the same time, it requires application of grouping of activities. It requires application of involvement of top management and leaders. So the contribution of human relations approach involving all the staff members, being concerned about their well-being, is also quite significant. And this advocates a participative approach which was propounded by Peter Drucker, still relevant. So educational institutions cannot function in isolation. They are part of the society. They exist in the society. They are mission driven. They are part of a system. The part of a system of the larger environment. And in this larger environment, they function. And they are continually have to respond to the changes. Now that NEP 2020 has come, we need to respond to the changes that are propounded by NEP 2020. So analogical approaches like SWOT, which I told you at the beginning, strengths, weakness, opportunities and challenges, on which there is an assignment also in your reading material. These have high implications for better management of our schools. So cultivating the strengths, building on the strengths, removing the weaknesses in light of the overall opportunities and challenges in the environment, this will definitely take our schools to take advantage of the opportunities in the environment, and which will help us to function better. And that's how we can get an answer to the question that why do some schools perform better than other schools. So these are the basic implications of the management theories. So dear learners, we have discussed basically the definition of management, the theories of management, its application in our school system, and how can we move ahead to make our schools better and better. Thank you very much. We shall meet you in the second unit to discuss about the more of educational management. Thank you very much.